Hi, I'm Hannah, a famous young artist born in Japan. If you want to hear more stories about my works, please click like and subscribe for me. Thank you guys! I was born in Japan into a fairly average family. Both of my parents worked in hotels. Despite the fact that my family does not have many tangible values, we are always pleasant and happy together. I've always loved to paint since I was a child. Recognizing this, my parents have always been by my side, accompanying and supporting me on my journey to become an artist. Day by day, as I grew up, my once humble painting became more and more fantastic. And it's all because of my parents' encouragement. Later on, the city where I lived conducted a small competition. I tried my hand at painting with my parents' encouragement. My parents were overjoyed when I won first place in the tournament and received a scholarship to study in America. I was afraid I'd have to leave my parents and travel to a new world. But an American collector noticed my work and wanted to buy all of my paintings for a very high price. Because of that money, my entire family relocated to America to live together. Not only that, but my parents were able to open a large hotel in the very center of the city where we lived. Going to a new setting necessitates me to enroll in a new school. Because the others were American and I was Japanese, I was terrified of being discriminated against. I was strolling alone in the school hallway, terrified, when a cheery girl raced up to me and began talking to me.
Hello, you're new here, right? I'm Taylor.
Hello. I'm Hannah, and I'm from Japan.
Wow, you're Japanese. It's a wonderful country, and there are a lot of amazing manga.
Thank you, Taylor.
Aw, don't be shy, Hannah. Everyone here is very friendly. I'm an example. I will become your new best friend.
Are you telling the truth?
Of course.
And while I was still terrified of being discriminated against, I made my first close friend. My life has never been more amazing than it is right now. Taylor and I had some wonderful times together. She taught me how to eat with a knife and fork while I introduced her to a magical tool called chopsticks. While Taylor demonstrated the deliciousness of an American-style burger, I was equally eager to introduce Japanese sushi. We studied together, shared lunch, and got closer. But I can't say I don't miss my days at home. My parents and I were delighted, even though we weren't as wealthy as we are now. I was so focused on the picture of the carp lanterns I used to adore playing with as a child that I didn't see Taylor standing behind me a while ago.
What are these beautiful things, Hannah?
Taylor, you scared me.
I'm so sorry, dear friend, because you were so focused.
These are carp lanterns in my hometown. When I was little, I loved looking at them.
So why don't we bring those beautiful memories back again?
Are you serious, Taylor? How are you planning to do that?
Don't worry, honey. Our school is about to have a festival that needs ideas from students, and I bet this idea will be the best.
Taylor and I then prepared for the festival together, and our ideas became the main theme of the school festival that night. I was so moved to see the koi-fish lanterns being hung again. But now, here in America, I'm so happy to have such a lovely friend. Taylor, thank you so much.
Don't mention it, dear. A friend in need is a friend indeed.
I was too naive to believe that this rosy life would last forever. When I got home from school one day, my mother was crying in front of my eyes, and my father was alongside her, comforting her. But his face was filled with endless sorrows. I became frightened and rushed to see what was going on. Dad? Mom, what happened? But my mother still kept crying, and only my father answered me with an extremely tired voice.
It's because of the manager we hired, Ricardo. He did it for us last time, just a probe. Today he faked my signature, sold the entire hotel, and ran away.
I was dumbfounded and couldn't believe what I had just heard. My dad then told me everything. That manager used my parents' forged signatures not only to sell the hotel, But he even burned money in countless casinos in my father's name. Now he's disappeared, leaving us with countless debts. My life felt as if it were plunging from heaven to the depths of hell. When I went to school the next day, I was repeatedly met with scornful looks and rude words. Even from people I knew. Taylor was my soulmate, and now she pretends like she never knew me. Turns out that what they really want is Miss Hannah, the daughter of a wealthier hotelier, not a little girl whose father has gone bankrupt. My family has been forced to relocate from a luxury villa to a small, decaying cottage for the time being. Even worse, gangsters kept stalking our family to collect debt. I thought my life couldn't get any worse, but no. One day, when I came home, I saw my mother sobbing again, but there was no father by her side this time. Terrified, I ran to my mother and noticed a letter next to her.
Your father, he left to keep us safe. He's gone.
I collapsed to the ground while holding the letter. It took a moment for me to restore my calm, open the letter, and read it.
Dear Hannah and my love, I'm grateful for the miracles we've achieved together, but the gangsters only want me because all the debts are in my name. I knew it would be difficult, but I opted to leave to assure your safety. Hannah, don't be concerned about me. You are a very strong and tough girl. When Dad removes the terrible things from your life, you will shine once more. Daddy will be unable to answer the phone or your text during this time to preserve your safety, but we will be reunited after I find the scammer.
My mother and I struggled with adapting to a new life without my father. But with the hope that he will return one day, we have worked hard every day to get better. My mother returned to work as a hotel receptionist, and I continue to enhance my art. Even though he has never responded to my messages, I write my dad every day with the expectation that he will feel reassured when he sees that my mother and I are still well. This life is cruel, but just like the hope and protections that Father bestowed on me in the calamity, it doesn't have to be ugly. I shall hone the one thing I do best. I will paint with all of my heart, and in the hope that Father gave me so our separation would not be in vain. He would not want his daughter, whom he sacrificed everything for, to be sad, would he? My paintings got better and better with time. Finally, with all my efforts, I won first place in the art competition for young artists that year. I was deeply moved when I was asked to speak about my best painting. I am extremely grateful to everyone for supporting me. This entire endeavor is in memory of my father, an incredible man. I hope you're pleased to watch your daughter prosper, Dad. Every day, Mom and I look forward to your homecoming. After a few speeches, I introduced everyone to my winning painting. That was a scene when my parents and I were still in Japan. Even though we struggled financially, we always had each other and we were always happy. Thinking about that makes me miss my dad very much. Then, as if hearing my call, the main door opened, a group of bodyguards entered, and then a familiar figure appeared. That's my father. Not only that, but next to him is Ricardo, the bastard who stole all of our family's efforts. Right now, he looks so pathetic and submissive.
Hannah, I'm back.
Dad, it's really you! Mom and I miss you so much. I drew this picture just for us.
You have never disappointed me, little one. From now on, we will be happy and reunited again.
My mother quickly arrived, and we couldn't have had a more fulfilling reunion. After all, Dad told us that Ricardo only had time to spend 20% of the assets he stole before my dad found him. He bore the repercussions of his imprisonment and returned all of the leftover money to us. Dad has paid off all the debts, and the remaining dollars are just enough for Dad and Mom to build a new little hotel together. Although our family is no longer as prosperous as it was when we first arrived in America, we have each other, and from now on, anything is possible.